The tax exemptions regime is meant to encourage investments into the country. When government enters into commercial agreements with especially foreign companies, they sometimes exempt these companies from various taxes to help propel their growth. Unfortunately, as the economy expands and foreign direct investments increase, these exemptions also balloon. It is estimated that the country loses about $2 billion to tax exemptions every year. During debates on requests for exemptions of about 9 million euros on items procured for the construction of Obechebi-Lamte interchange, the minority leader Haruna Idrisu raised concerns about the tax exemptions regime.
I concede that many of these tax exemptions were granted when Parliament was granting the contractual agreements relative to the undertaking of those activities. And even that, Mr. Speaker, Parliament will have to review its generous position in the grant of those tax exemptions. The World Bank and the IMF estimates that we lose $1 to $2 billion. And Mr. Speaker, for those of them who have studied economic costs, the grant of tax exemption is an opportunity cost of a lost revenue. And therefore, when you have an economy which is struggling, such as ours, we need to be more careful how much tax exemptions we grant. But this won't fall within the category. And then again, Mr. Speaker, in future, when referrals are made to committees, committee chairman, ranking, and members must exercise oversight. If there is a request for tax exemption, some of them even extend it to income tax. Some of them extend it to equipment and materials that are available in Ghana. The Speaker, that is why I'm saying that this Parliament, we should not be complicit that everything the executive brings, we are happy to say hooray and approve it. We are losing the public trust. The public is losing confidence in us as a house in not holding many of these matters to accountability.
Deputy Majority Leader Afenyomakin shared similar sentiments. He was of the view that instead of exemptions, companies should be giving tax credits.
I would want us as a house to take this matter up seriously and rather in approving commercial agreement, talk about tax credits. That I disagree with you. It's not a matter of they deserve or not. It's a going concern. So you look at it case by case. But my point is that let us introduce a tax credit regime which will be compelling enough to enable them to do the needful.
The first deputy speaker was, however, concerned about the discrimination against Ghanaian-owned companies in the granting of exemptions.
There's no way a Ghanaian company will be given any consideration in any of the countries of the companies we give so much clout to. Probably we should be learning the lessons now. When people complain that this financial institution belongs to A or Z, those that we don't complain about, they also belong to some political class in the other countries. And they support them to come here and take the credit. It is time we made it a policy to support Ghanaian companies wherever they belong. After all, in the last 25, 30 years, it has been very clearly demonstrated that this our democracy gives opportunities to both sides. Let's stop putting impediments in the way of those who are Ghanaian companies when we don't even complain about other companies getting the same benefits. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On the matter of tax exemptions, the House today approved waivers on import duties and other taxes amounting to more than $6 million for Consa Limited and Wamus Limited. These are construction companies, and these exemptions are supposed to help in the procurement of items that will be used in the construction of sports infrastructure to be used in the 2023 All-African Games here in Ghana. Also in Parliament, the minority group sought to clarify their position on the budget statement that was approved on Tuesday. Some media reports had suggested that the group supported the entire budget, including the new tax measures.
For the records, the budget has not been approved yet. There are processes, approval processes. First, there is the need for Parliament to debate the principles of the budget and consider approval. Subsequently, Parliament, after debating, voted on the principles and got it approved. But it should be noted that we in the minority has indicated that going forward, we have zeroed in into certain things that we believe is wrong, and therefore we will not support its approval. Number one, there are a number of tax measures that has been introduced. Government requested Parliament to approve 23 measures, tax measures. We have noticed that out of the 23 measures, 2 of them are measures that we cannot support. The first one has to do with the VAT, value added tax, and the second one has to do with the VAT, the e-levy exemptions, threshold exemptions. First, on the VAT, our position is clear. We in the minority, particularly the NDs, we are a Social Democratic Party. We believe in taxation. We believe particularly in progressive taxes. But obviously, in as much as we are the ones that introduced VAT first in this republic, we think that, one, this is not the time to increase VAT. At a time that inflation has imposed inflation tax on certain goods and services, to the extent that prices of goods and services has sometimes doubled, in some cases tripled, we believe that this is not the time to introduce VAT. So we are asking the government to hold on to that policy until the future. When there is stability, you can introduce VAT.
Meanwhile, the Appointments Committee of Parliament has recommended the approval of Justice Barbara Frances Akayensu and Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu as Supreme Court judges. This was contained in the report of the committee laid before the House by Chairman of the committee after vetting the nominees. For Citi News, Charles Osukume reporting from Parliament.